Hey, how's it going everybody? It's your bro here, hope you're doing well, and in this video we're going to be discussing enums in Java, and at the end of this video we're going to be creating a project where we will prove that Pluto is in fact a planet. Before you reach the end of this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so that we together can challenge and defeat the mighty YouTube algorithm. Welcome back. We're going to be discussing enums. So enum is short for the word enumerated, which is basically defined as some sort of ordered listing of items within a collection. Now in Java, when we create enums, they are constants. They cannot change, nor do we want them to be able to be changed. So a few examples that come to mind would be days of the week, months in the year, and for my demonstration, planets in our solar system. So it's a listing of constants, but they behave similarly to objects. Now, there's two ways which we can create enums. They are created similarly to classes. So the first way, outside of your main class, this is what we're going to type. We're going to type in enum and a name for this enum. So the name should be descriptive of the constants that it contains. So if we're going to create constants of planets in the solar system, we can call this maybe planet. And then a set of curly braces. The other way is that if you want this on a separate file, what you'll do is go to, well, this is assuming you're using the Eclipse IDE, go to File, New, and then enum right here. But for simplicity, I'm just going to keep this all within the same file. So now with our enum, this is what we can do. We can list some constants. So we can begin listing some planets. So one common practice for listing constants in enums is that you want to be sure that all the letters are uppercase. So if we are going to list some planets, for example, Mercury, we'll want to be sure to make this all uppercase. So let's begin listing the planets in the solar system. So Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus. Okay, fine, I'll spell it right. Uranus, Neptune, and we'll say Pluto's a planet. He's always left out. Okay, so these are the constants in our enum of planet. For the record, I just added a quick comment here that says an enum is a grouping of constants that behave similarly to objects. Now, what I'm thinking we can do for a project is that we will create a program where we can check to see if one of these planets is habitable. And as of the filming of this video, only Earth is currently habitable. All of the other planets are uninhabitable. Well, except for Mars, we're pretty close. Come on, Elon Musk, what's taking so long? Now, what we'll do is that we'll instantiate an instance of our enum planet, and this is very similar to instantiating an object. So we're going to type in the name of our enum, so planet. We need a name for this instance, so I'll call this my planet equals, and you remember with instantiating objects, we would say something such as equals new the name of the class, then a set of parentheses. Well, what we do instead for enums is that we type in equals the name of our enum, so planet, dot, and then we can select one of these constants. So let's say Earth, and then semicolon. So this is valid. Now, if we selected a constant that wasn't within our enum, let's say sun. We don't have sun as a constant. Well, you can see that we're getting an error now. And it says a quick fix is that we can create enum constant sun within planet, but that wouldn't fit. So that's the great thing with enums. We can only select one of these constants within our enum. So it's great because it's as if they're final. We can't make any changes like to this list, basically. So let's just select Earth, and this will be fine. Now let's create a method outside of our main method. And we'll call this, perhaps, can I live here? And this will check to see if we can live here or not. But let's make this a static void method. Now we're going to set up a planet as a parameter. So type in the name of our enum, so planet, and then we need a name for this instance, and I'll just call this my planet, just so it matches. It doesn't have to. Now what we'll do is that, let's add a switch, I think. So We'll have a switch, and then we will determine what the value of my planet is. And then depending on the answer, we will display a message. So if our case is equal to Earth, what we'll do is system.out.println, maybe you can live here. And then semicolon, and let's add a break. And what I'm thinking we can do for the other planets is that we'll just have default system.out.println, you can't live here, ... yet. And then we will break. All right, the last step is that we'll want to call this function, and we will pass in our planet as an argument. So we'll call this method, can I live here? And then we will pass in my planet. Okay, let's try this. You can live here. Let's select a different planet, maybe Mars. You can't live here yet. So we know that this is working then. So that's one of the cool things about constants in enums, is that this is a grouping of constants that behave similarly to objects, and we cannot change these after the program compiles and runs. So that's pretty useful if you need some sort of listing of things that cannot change. Now we're going to take this a step further. Welcome to level 2. So with each of these constants, we can associate a set of values for each of these constants. So when we instantiate normal objects, we can pass in some values as arguments, and using a constructor, we can assign some values to that specific object. Well, we can do something similar to that using enums. So what we're going to do next to each of these constants is add a set of parentheses, and we're going to pass in some values when we construct these. So what I'm thinking we'll do here is that we'll just pass in the numbered planet that they are away from the sun. So with Mercury, we'll just say number 1, as in it's the first planet within our solar system. Then Venus is number 2, and then we'll just follow that pattern. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now we can declare some variables. So let's declare a integer variable called number, as in which numbered planet they are. And we can also create a constructor. So we'll type in the name of our enum, kind of like a constructor for a class. So planet, and then we need to set up a parameter. So in order for us to create a constant, you can see that these are underlined red right now because we can't currently pass in any values. So we're going to list as a parameter integer number. And then what we'll do is say this dot number equals number. And it appears everything's fine then. So then if you were to associate other values to this constant, you would separate each with a comma within the set of parentheses, but we'll stick with 1 for now. So each of these constants has an associated number variable. So they are in order, Mercury with 1, Venus 2, so on and so forth. Now we can actually access these values. So I think we'll do that within our can I live here function. So what I'm thinking what we'll do is create a print line statement that says this is planet number plus my planet dot number. And we will do the same thing for our default case. Okay, that's it. So let's try it then. So currently our planet is Mars. Let's try Pluto, because Pluto is a planet. And let's run this. You can't live here yet. This is planet number 9. Let's try Earth. You can live here. This is planet number 3. So that's the basics of enums. An enum is short for the word enumerated, which is an ordered listing of items in a collection. and they are a grouping of constants that behave similarly to objects when using them in Java. So that's the basics. If you would like a copy of all this code that we worked on, I'll post it in the comments down below, and your assignment is to post an enum in the comment section. And if you don't, I'm calling the police. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is an overview of enums in Java. Hey you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. If you learned something new, then you can help me help you in 3 easy steps by smashing that like button, drop a comment down below, and subscribe if you'd like to become a fellow bro.